Hello, everybody. My name is Connor, and we are here with Green Yellow Law versus Blue Green Rosinante. Really excited to get into this match. It was a really close one, really good one, and honestly, I love seeing Rosinante get some play. He's just such a fun leader. Yeah, and I'm really excited for the new Rosinante. I think that's going to be really fun as well. And purple and yellow, two of my favorite colors in the One Piece trading card game. So before we get too deep into this game, though, I do want to remind you guys, if you are looking for a way to support the channel and you are in need of a new playmat, check out thousandnoble.com. All of my playmats are on there. We just recently were able to lower the price of the playmats, and I will be releasing new designs, including this Kobe design here. And I'm still working on a Snake Man design, but I'll also be doing Blue Yellow Nami. And then in OP12, we'll be having all of the OP12 leaders. So we're going to go ahead and start off with a Luffy searching the top 5 for a supernova type card. Looking at our hand, we don't really have a lot of supernovas, but Cavendish is the best bet there. Cavendish so good in this deck, able to kind of just bounce it around and really utilize that extra 2 Dawn that Cavendish gives. My opponent on their 2 Dawn turn, looking at their hand, gonna go ahead, tap both of their Dawn, and they might be playing out something. Gonna play out the Sugar, super annoying card to be faced with already. And that Sugar is gonna stay on the field for a while here. But we are gonna go ahead, tap 1. He's gonna rest our other Luffy searcher, and we are searching. We are doing so much searching with this deck. It is pretty wild. I think this is the game where I was like, I think I've been through my entire deck. So really, honestly, really fun to play so many searchers. We are gonna go ahead, take another searcher, taking that Jewelry Bonnie with the Luffy rested. Not really much else I want to do with the Dawn, so we're gonna take that. We're gonna grab one of the Scratch Minapus, and we're gonna go 5 into Sugar. He's just going to go ahead and block and potentially 1k out of it, thinking if he wants to take it, he's just going to take that life, get that extra resource, and pass turn. I think Rosinante having blocker is such a cool ability. I just think it's so great. You are able to protect those little bodies for next to nothing. But my opponent going to go ahead, play the new Rosinante. This card is honestly so good. It made this deck really good. And yeah, so he's gonna go ahead, play Rosinante, search the top 5 for a 2-cost character to play out off of that Rosinante rested. It's 2 Dawn to play, 1 Dawn rested to tap, 1 Dawn rested to tap it. And he's gonna go ahead and play out I can't remember his name, I think it's like Hammond, or maybe that's Overwatch, but 2-cost blocker. And then he's gonna play down a 1-cost Law. Really like that tech in that list. I know that he was running Fishman Rosinante for a while, but he just changed it to be more like the Rosinante build that we had. So gonna go ahead and 1k out of that 5k swing with the Basil Hawkins, drawing into our 7-cost Law, which is a great card to have. And here, what are we looking for? We are gonna go ahead, grab the Bonnie off of the Jewelry Bonnie search. One of the few searches you can actually use to grab there, and one of the few searches that you can use. You know what I'm trying to say. It's still early in the morning, and I'm trying to wake up. As always, we're gonna go ahead, play Bonnie down. Bonnie is gonna get rested by that Sugar, but with Bonnie ability, we're gonna take the top of our life, getting another Bonnie, and we're gonna play Cavendish on the board. We're gonna be able to Law ability, bouncing most likely my 1 Alt-Art searcher. Yeah, look at that, so good. Playing Cavendish down, we're gonna restand 2, and we have the potential to swing really big. Yeah, okay, I was gonna say we can either swing really big or we can play down another searcher, and trying to decide where I want to swing. I know it's gonna get blocked if I swing into Sugar, so I'm just gonna swing really big at lead, get rid of that 1-cost searcher, and then we're gonna swing the Luffy searcher into Sugar. It's gonna get blocked by lead, but we gotta try and get rid of that Sugar. She is absolutely a menace, immediately resting my blocker on play. Kind of a bummer there, but he's gonna go ahead, play 1 to spin the Rosinante, looking at that top 5 for something he can play out, which is very, his new list is very similar to what my list was, which is just a bunch of tiny little bodies doing, as much as I can. And look at that, he gets another sugar, so that is definitely going to hurt. Definitely slowed this game down. I'm sure you guys can tell that it's a little sped up. It was about a 35-minute game. It took us a while to finish, but we were not the longest game this round, so it was all good. 1 Dawn to play down another Law blocker, just making it really difficult to get to his life or get to anything he doesn't want us to get to, really. And with the remainder of his Dawn, he could swing pretty big into one of my bodies and clear it, or he could play something else down. If he has a bigger blocker, maybe that, but he is going to go ahead, swing 6 at lead, and I'm thinking about giving him I think that's 7. He's going to swing 7 at lead. I'm going to give him a 2k 1k there to get out of that hit here. Trying to keep my life relatively healthy because I know that I see he's got 2 sugars on board. That is pretty scary, not going to lie. Gonna go ahead, restand, and pass turn. We get another Cavendish, which it's not terrible. There's definitely, with the Law deck, there's definitely a lot you can do just by kind of cycling your Cavendishes, which I think we end up doing in this game. But we're gonna go ahead, play 7, rest there, and he's actually gonna go ahead and with sugar rest the Cavendish. I think technically the other sugar should be able to rest something too. But we're going to put Cavendish on the top of our life. We were going to put Bonnie there, but I do want the Dawn. So we're going to go ahead, bounce the the rested Cavendish, play out the new Cavendish, and we're going to go ahead, search the top 5 for a Supernova type. Seeing some good options. Yeah, the X-Drake there, good choice. It is a 2k, and if we are at less life, we do get to arrest one of his cards. So we're going to go ahead, try and swing 2 into the sugar, see what my opponent wants to do with that. Yeah, he's going to end up trashing Hammond, or blocking with Hammond, and trashing Hammond to keep Hammond alive. Not sure if that was the correct play, but it definitely made my turn a little more difficult. So we're going to go ahead, after swinging our little body, we are going to go ahead and search another Supernova type card, just really doing so much bouncing. And as much as I love those 5-cost Laws, and those alt arts are beautiful, I do need to take the 7-cost Law here to stay healthy. And now that I have 2 7-cost Laws, this is an opportunity to continually bounce them and just kind of stay relatively healthy. So this Law list that I'm playing is Kyle Gasly's newest Law list. It is really fun. I figured I wanted to end this EB02 OP10 meta in a similar way I started, and after watching Kyle's Gasly's video on the green yellow Law, I was like, let's go back to Law. And it may not be the best deck, and I know it's getting a little better with the Bonnie support, or the Bonnie structure deck, excuse me. It may not be the best deck, but it's really fun. There's definitely something very fun about just the way you cycle through your characters here. But my opponent did go ahead, find another blocker Rosinante off of the Rosinante, which is such a good combo. That combo is so good because even if you swing into Rosinante, you can trash that Rosinante there. Really, really good. But the Duval is going to come down over the Hammond there, searching the top 3, trying to figure out how he wants to put them back on top, or if he wants to put them back on top. And with the remainder, he has a lot of Dawn left, and that's one of the interesting things I think about playing this type of build with Rosinante, where it's a bunch of little bodies that, one of your Rosinantes is just, paying 1 Dawn to get out, is you just have so much Dawn left over. So big swing there. I'm going to go ahead and just block it, not even going to think about it. It is an insta block for me, and he's going to go ahead, pass turn, restanding his leader. If he has 6 or less cards in hand, he gets to restand leader and use that blocker ability. So we're going to go ahead and search the top 5, and that Zoro is looking really tempting, but we're going to go ahead, pick up the 2k in the Capone, and be able to place something up top there. And then we're going to go ahead and use the Law while we can. Before we play anything else down, we want to be able to swing with Law there, swinging 9. It's going to go ahead and get blocked, just getting rid of some of those smaller bodies. Trying to decide if I want to play down my other Law or not. We're going to go ahead, swing the Luffy into the Rosinante, just to try and get that off board so that I am able to do something. And it looks like, yeah, he's just going to go ahead and block, thinking he needs to take the life. I'm like, no, dude, it's just 2K. I mean, you can take the life if you want, so torn between playing the Bonnie or the 7-cost Law. We're going to play the 7-cost Law, and he's going to go ahead and rest Cavendish and rest the Law. So my board entirely rested. That's why that is part of the reason I just put Electric Luna in my Rosinante list, just to try it. And we're going to go ahead and put the body up top. We're going to bounce the Luffy Searcher back to hand, playing the Bonnie, freezing that Rosinante, just trying to slow down the body spam a bit. And we're going to go ahead, it looks like we're going to tap 1, replacing Jewelry Bonnie with the Luffy. Pretty unfortunate to see my caramels. I kept seeing my caramels in the search, but thankfully at this point I'm seeing a lot of searchers, so not the worst thing to happen. And we're going to go ahead and swing 6. I think we are swinging 6 into life. Yeah, that is okay. Probably could have swung 6 into one of the sugars to get the sugar off board, but with my board state, with most of my big Laws rested, I'm thinking, okay, he swings into them. The only thing he really has that can swing into them relatively cheaply would be Leader, and he's only got one of those swings. So, and we do have a Hody in hand. Hody, honestly, so good in this game particularly. And he's been in my hand the entire game. Like, I have just been sitting, waiting for the opportunity to play Hody. And it's tough when they have 2 sugars on the board, though. So, 8 Dawn, yep, it's time. Eustace Captain Kid gets dropped. Gonna go ahead and put that Dawn under Kid and rest him. I know this game is about to get a lot harder here with that 8-cost Kid. Thinking about what he wants to play. If he wants to play something off of Kid ability, and he is going to get rid of one of his sugars, thank God, and play out off of the Kid ability. He's going to play out, this actually sucks, he's going to play out Van Augur and trash a Hody to KO one of my Laws. Honestly, the Van Augur tech, I can't even be mad. If he's got the Fishman to trash, that's pretty good, dude. Like, kind of a bummer for sure. But we do end up losing one of our Laws there. Trying to figure out what I want to do next. Getting a 1-cost Scratchman Apu here, which could definitely help us, seeing as he only has 1 blocker besides Leader. I'm torn here because I want to swing Law into Kid, but playing this down, he is going to be able to rest something. Trying to decide if he wants to rest the Law or the Cavendish. Both, I think, pretty good options. Cavendish makes it a little harder. Yeah, I think Cavendish is a solid option, just because, I mean, yeah, what else am I going to do? I don't have the ability to restand on as freely, but we are going to go ahead. We're going to swing really big into Kid, either force him to take that life or let Kid go. Ideally, we do have another decently sized swing coming at him next turn, or with our Bonnie, which you can't see. It's right next to the Law, the shiny card next to the Law. It is always so hard to find a good angle down here, I swear. He is going to go ahead and block and take that life, dropping down to 1 life. And now I have to choose, do I want to Leader ability and bounce something, or do I just want to swing really big with Bonnie? I don't even think that's really big. I think that just meets Kid, if I'm not mistaken, or a little bit above Kid there. Let's see, she's 6, 7, 8. He is going to end up playing a Slave Arrow to bounce the, what is her name? Sugar. Bounce Sugar back to his hand and give Kid +4. So, really unfortunate that we were unable to get rid of the Eustace Captain Kid, especially since we did play down the Scratchman Apu. Thankfully, we do have the opportunity to bounce Scratchman Apu back to our hand next turn, depending on how we do what we do. But yeah, definitely definitely unfortunate that we weren't able to clear the Kid. Kid's gonna be really solid. And yeah, the bounce law comes out. He's gonna bounce the Van Augur and play a Van Augur to KO. He's gonna bounce Van Augur, play Van Augur, trashing Van Augur to KO my Law, making it a really hard to get rid of that Kid. Honestly, bounce law in that list is a pretty good idea. I definitely, when he played it, I was like, oh my god, like, why didn't I put bounce law on my list? Just being able to cycle some of those small bodies that you play. I mean, it works so well in this list, but yeah, why didn't I put it in the other lists here? So 9 with Kid going into, let's see, gonna go ahead, play out the sugar off. Actually, no, that's what is his name? What is his name? That is a Eustace Kid ability to play out sugar. No, not swinging into my face with a 9K. Very nice. I appreciate that so much. Gonna go ahead and swing at 6 into life, and I'm thinking about taking it, but I decide, actually that's more than 6. Yeah, go ahead and counter out of that, just trying to stay healthy, knowing that I have to stay relatively healthy to get rid of this Eustace Kid. Gonna go ahead, what are we gonna do here? We do have another Scratch Minapoo to play, to rest the Rosinante if we want to go that route. But we're gonna go ahead, play Hody here. Hody gonna be pretty helpful. Rest both of the blockers. He, I think, is gonna go ahead and rest the Hody. Pretty unfortunate there, but kind of knew we had to do that way. So Cavendish gonna go ahead and restand 2 Don, swinging the 8 into the Eustace Kid, hoping that with the Hody we're able to get something here. Another 8 into the Kid, and he's gonna let Kid go. Thank goodness, dude. I'm gonna go ahead, swing 1 into the Rosinante. At this point, it's kind of a why not. He can either block with lead or, you know, not. I'm gonna swing the 1 into Sugar with a Poo. He's gonna block, and then I'm gonna swing 6 into lead. We're gonna go ahead, leader ability. We're gonna leave that there. It's actually a Hody right there, which is so incredibly helpful, because really, I don't think this tournament I saw, or I was able to play Hodys off of in any other game except this game. So Hody, incredibly helpful, really able to just win me the game, honestly. But we'll see that in a little bit, not to spoil, but Rosinante spin, gonna go ahead, search the top 5 for something small. I'm hoping he doesn't see another sugar. This has been, I think, at least 2 sugars that he's seen, which has really slowed down the game, making it hard to play my cards, hard to play my deck. So that's what sugar does. That's why sugar is such a good card. The fact that she can rest anything is insane. But the Duval gonna search the top 3, deciding if he wants to put those on top or bottom. Not really sure what he wants to do. I think he thought about it for a while. He said it was a really tough one, which is one of the joys and the hardest parts about Duval, is knowing what to put on top, and if there's multiple cards, like, how do you pick? Like, a pretty tough situation there. So now he does have a blocker. He's got 1 life and a decent amount of cards in hand. I think it's about 2 to 3. I remember at one point it was getting pretty low, so, which I think is part of the, like, it's kind of how you play Kid, I feel like, is you try and keep Kid alive as long as you can, and half the time you end up losing a lot of cards for that, which is understandable. But yeah, I think the only deck I like playing Kid in is Rosinante, because it just makes sense. It makes sense for Rosinante to be an absolute bunker. And hey, speaking of Kid, there he is again. One more Kid. Gonna go ahead, put the Dawn under Kid. It is under Kid there, a little hidden there. But we are going to go ahead pass turn. Or he's going to go ahead, excuse me, not pass turn. He's going to go ahead, swing 5. I'm going to give him the Carmel there. As much as I love drawing with Carmel. Hey, look at that. I felt like that was the best 1K to get rid of at the time. Now, here is the chance. Do I have anything to rest the law? I don't think so. We're gonna go ahead, swing 8 into Kid. Dawn is under there. One of my buddies next to us was like, hey, is there a Dawn under that? Yeah, he just put it directly under Kid. This guy. He's thinking about blocking with his leader. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and block with his leader. I'm gonna go ahead, play Carmel, draw into a Scratchman, a Poo there. Just gonna go ahead, swing another 8 into Kid with Cavendish, restanding the 2 Dawn I used for Carmel. Now he has the Law. He has 1 card in hand, it looks like. Bonnie gonna go ahead, swing 9, force him to block with the Law. And yeah, we're just gonna swing the rest into Kid there, get Kid off the board. And then perhaps swing our Luffy into Duval. Yep, we're gonna swing Luffy into Duval. And then I think we're gonna Law ability, bounce that back to hand. I can't play out there's multiple reasons I can't play out the Hody that is on top of my life, but we're gonna leave him there, leave that Hody there, and hopefully, depending on what my opponent plays here, hopefully we are gonna be able to finish out this game next turn, sitting in a pretty solid spot for the most part. A lot of cards in hand, which is kind of what you want to do as Law, is get as many cards in hand as possible. At least in my experience, that's been the most success I've had on Law is when I have a fat hand and I'm able to just search after search after search. So pretty solid there. Rosinante playing out the 1-cost Law. Pretty unfortunate to have to play that out off of the Rosinante. It is unfortunate that there's no, well, he does have a way to restand it, and I think he does, if I remember this game correctly. It only happened yesterday, so we'll see here. He is going to go ahead, counting his Dawn. Looks like he's tapping. I think that's 5 or 4. He's going to play Pedro to KO, and then I'm like, wait, is it on KO or on? And he was like, oh, I thought it was on play. So trying to get rid of my Cavendish there, unable to get rid of Cavendish. And with the remainder of his Dawn, I think that makes him 5 Dawn. He's going to go ahead, play Bounce Law. Bounce Law is going to go ahead, take Law, play Law back. But really, honestly, so good there. Like, that was such a good play. He's going to go ahead, swing 5, and I'm going to take. I know I need Hody to finish this game. And now I should be able to finish game. We have the ability to rest every blocker he has with Hody as well as Scratchman Apu. We're going to tap 1 for the Scratchman, resting the Law. And then we're counting out 7 here. We're going to play 7. We're going to get rid of Carmel, rest both of those blockers, take our last life, swing 8 at lead, see if he can get out of it. That is game. So all he had was what is his name? Vanderdecken? Van Auger? Was I calling him Van Auger? That's Vanderdecken. My bad, guys. I think I was calling him Van Auger. That is the wrong Van. But yeah, that is our game. Honestly, Green Yellow Law, really fun to play in this match. And yeah, it was so Rosinante, always a pain, but we'd love to see Rosinante. So that is going to go ahead and do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
すぐに片付けますのでご安心を。おらー、これじゃあキリがねえ。